It's a crazy feeling to be at week 10 in postpartum and to read the news of the tragedy of Lindsay Clancy and her 3 kids. You know, in a lot of the research that I've done for my book and a lot of the reading that I did even before my first pregnancy, as I was starting to support more and more moms as a health coach, I learned a little bit about postpartum mood disorders. But the thing is, knowing about something doesn't make any of us immune to experiencing it or not. And Lindsay, from what I've read, was a labor and delivery nurse. She spent her work time, surrounded by women giving birth and new moms. And she spent her free time with her 3 kids. And I would imagine she had a really vibrant community of other moms too. And nevertheless, she experienced severe postpartum depression that the news reports are saying then shifted into psychosis. And although it affects such a small number of women, and although we know the statistics about postpartum mood disorders and perinatal mood disorders, again, it doesn't change the fact that anyone and everyone has the potential to experience some degree of that. I first read the news of what happened actually at around 3 a.m. a couple of days ago. Why was it up at 3? Well, number 1, Lucas was hungry, and so first I was feeding him. And then 2, I was experiencing a little bit of insomnia, which has started to come up a bit this week, if you couldn't tell from the bags under my eyes. And linked with that kind of little bouts of insomnia, I feel as though I'm starting to experience some intrusive thoughts, which is basically thoughts of like worst case scenario things around danger with my kids or myself, or just like kind of dark thoughts popping up without being invited or welcomed in. And it's bringing up memories of the short period of a couple of weeks of postpartum anxiety that I experienced after Lila's birth, after my first birth, around like weeks 8 to 11 or so postpartum with Lila. And it's like, it's kind of a complicated thing to be with, to experience thoughts or feelings, or to experience anxiety in the body, and to not really know how or what to do with it. A lot of the media is saying, if you've experienced this or if you feel that, reach out for help, get help, get help. And I feel really lucky where I was able to really quickly, when I started feeling that anxiety after Lila, reach out and get help from a coach and a reproductive mental health therapist. But a lot of people don't have access to that or don't even know who to turn to. And to be honest, when I first started feeling not like myself after Lila, and I told my husband Warren, he went into his problem-solving mode, and kind of the way his approach was, it kind of didn't make me feel like I had like a safe space just to process or be. And also I felt this guilt because I knew that me feeling not like myself was impacting him and my whole family, and they didn't make me feel like that, but that was my own story. But even for someone as understanding and wonderful and supportive as my husband, I just remember thinking to myself during those times, like, not even really feeling fully seen in my experience, because he didn't exactly know what to do either. And I don't know the circumstances beyond what I've just read in the headlines around Lindsay, and we don't know the circumstances of anyone around us, whether a new mom is having a little bout of baby blues or she's in full-blown postpartum depression. But what I wanted to share today in week 10 is if you are watching this and you have or are feeling anything that's not like yourself in postpartum, you are not alone. And there really are so many resources around and available. The number one recommendation I give to my clients and friends is to look at the Postpartum Support International, PSI, which they have a website and an Instagram and a hotline. And also to reach out to other trusted people in your life, other mom friends, other people, and just to share about what you're experiencing in real time, and not to wait for something to kind of progress beyond what feels manageable. And to also know that there are levers that can be pulled, like beyond, of course, like talking things out is really helpful, but also really prioritizing rest. There's a direct correlation with postpartum depression and anxiety and sleep, which is probably isn't surprising when you hear it, but new moms aren't necessarily told by their care providers that their risk of a mood disorder will decrease significantly the more they rest. In my research for my book, I also was able to kind of put together a pretty interesting awareness that the cultures that have the most kind of structure for new moms, support-wise, in early postpartum, they have much lower rates of depression and anxiety. Now, of course, it's tough with giving out statistics for mental health disorders or mood disorders because a lot of it's underreported or not properly reported, and it's kind of a tricky one. But if the US is reporting, and I've read, everywhere from like between 1 in 4 to 1 in 7 women experience anxiety or depression after birth, there's a problem there, and it's not the woman, it's not the mom, it's the system and the support, I believe. So before I just continue to ramble forever, I just wanted to share, if you're also feeling really just heartbroken and at a loss following the news of the tragedy of Lindsay Clancy, if you're experiencing any mental health struggles yourself, I love you. I'm here with you and for you. You are not alone. And I just wanted to share that message this week.